Interesting weekend. Boy, is the everything's flowing. The attempted shooting at the correspondence dinner seems weird. I think raised a lot of questions. A lot of questions. Um, but before I talk about any of that, are just like general thoughts on that. Nothing like specific. I have started posting like some just like clips, just fun little like thoughts and ideas, and things that I'll have some like green screen and I'll just kind of talk about some stuff super quick. I've been trying to like compress my ideas down into like 30-second to 1 minute clips. So I know that's not like a ton, like you can't have a fulsome like pull everything to like concept or debate on something. And I'm not saying debate. I'm gonna hate debate. Hate the conversation of debate. Like, conversation and understanding needs to be much more than we talk about in general. But I put one of those up late last week, and I was just kind of like, I've been frustrated by corporate profits and like how everything's structured, and so I was kind of like, what if the government was an investor in lots of companies, kind of like they did with Intel, and then the revenues generated from that could offset, like, because a lot of these companies actually don't pay taxes between credits and all the nonsense that they do. They don't actually pay taxes. Like, we live in corporate socialism, right? Corporations don't pay any taxes. Sure, some like payroll taxes and things relate to individuals, but it's like taxes on profits and things like that. They end up never paying those. And so I just posted, I was like, well, what if, like a lot of these sovereign wealth funds, what if we just like had some funds that we, like the government took a stake, or like even state governments took a stake in these companies that were like critical to like infrastructure. So like here in Utah, we've got a couple refineries, things like that, some oil shit. Like, what if the state of Utah took a stake in some of these companies, like, like a 10%, or like it's a critical infrastructure thing? It might be as much as like 50%, or like in the case of national defense, it might even be more. Like, it's a 50%, and then in a wartime setting, it goes to like 90, right? Just as a thought. So then those profits can be adjusted and looked at and accounted. That's just a way to offset like costs, and like if they're gonna put out profit, then the people should benefit from that, because like these corporations are lying, cheating, and doing everything they possibly can to like not share what they make with people that do the thing or make the thing or consume the thing. Anyway, I have a whole issue with that, and I understand how that looks. But this guy went off, don't know who he is, about me being a socialist. Like, I mean, not really. Like, I'm not making an argument for socialism. I'm making an argument for the government to take stakes in companies that are oftentimes gouging it, or become companies who become like ubiquitous. So like a Walmart, right? Walmart has become ubiquitous in the United States. They're everywhere. They touch every state, pretty much every city, even certain small cities, and they have a super well developed supply chain. But Walmart has two problems. Right? One, it's well known that Walmart, in an effort to maximize profits, keeps a bunch of their employees under like the 32-hour threshold, so they don't have to pay them any benefits, and they push them out onto welfare. So like some crazy percentage of Walmart employees are on food stamps and welfare, which, costs the US taxpayer a ton of money. It's like, well, hang on. Like, why don't we address that? And they're so, like, because they've crushed local competitors and grocery stores and things like that, oftentimes entire communities become dependent on some of these on the Walmart, and so you can't have Walmart leave. A food desert would occur. So, like, examples of this would be there's a couple small towns here in Utah. They were just big enough. They're just big enough to have like one grocery store. I can think of a couple like the small college towns here in Utah. So like Snow College. There's a Walmart there, and it's got like a couple thousand students, like not a lot, like 2,300, 3,000 students, something like that. And then the population around that, but it's like not enough population. So they have a small Walmart, like one of the neighborhood grocer ones. But there's not really any, there might be one other local competitor still out there. But oftentimes you get a community of that size and a Walmart comes in and just collapses all the other stores and grocery stores. I think you saw it mostly like mom and pop shops, sewing shops, things like that. But now that Walmart, because of that, has become critical to the town's infrastructure. This being my point. So if you were to close the Walmart, like there's not another store within, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 miles. There's like not a grocery store. And it becomes a huge problem. Because how do those people in that community, because you've eroded what would have naturally like kind of been like a natural order of like a smaller grocery store, a smaller like a couple goods stores. Kind of some of these small communities still had like a kind of a multi-purpose general store that existed, kind of a new format. They usually have like an Ace Hardware and like a grocery store that serves a lot of these smaller communities. But if you lose that, like, what happens? So my point being, like, some city, a state, or something should have some sort of stake in that. Like, instead of offering like tax breaks the way they do, right? Oh, we're going to give you a tax break to come here, which ends up being a horrible idea because now you're giving all this incentive and offsetting all this cost, but then when the company finds it inconvenient or quote unquote not profitable to operate said thing, well, they're just gonna shut it down. And then somebody's left holding the bag anyway. So I'm just saying, like, maybe a hospital would be another one, right? So lots of small towns, don't have hospitals anymore because instead of the community health centers or, a hospital that's owned by like a city or a county or something like that, and then doctors are hired there. So for more efficiency, they've turned it over to these for-profit hospitals. But what do we see is for-profit hospitals are for-profit. They're not about community health. And so, like, if a major hospital chain eventually acquires, which is what's been happening, they just like have a hospital and they're like, oh, well, this doesn't make us enough money. We're going to shut it down. It's like, right? Well, if you shut the hospital down, there's no doctors. And we're not talking about like a small town of 100 people who now has to drive 20 miles to the next hospital. Like, sometimes we're seeing like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people who now are losing access to their hospital. And it might not be a small issue because they shut it down. Like, I think this is just happening in Oregon right now, where some some hospital chains like, oh, we're going to shut it down, and it's like 100,000 people are losing quick access to a hospital, and it's going to be like a massive drive to the next hospital. But that also means like emergency management, all of that. There's not like even like an ER to go to. They're going to have to go like an hour. So how many people are going to die because instead of like a 20, 30 minute, at most, or 10-minute commute to an emergency room, they've all now got to go to some bigger hospital, and it's going to be like 45 minutes to an hour. Like, you're going to kill a lot of people. So I'm saying like maybe communities should be invested in that, so that hospital, like the profit that's excised out, goes back to that city, county, state, whatever. And it's like, not like your bottom line is the welfare of the people. So this was another way to trigger that. Not socialism. They're trying to use a capital system to fulfill some sort of socialist idea. But like, balance and moderate. You can't just be like, there should be zero regulation. We know that businesses aren't going to make seen too many people die. That experiment has been run way too many times. Radioactive drinks and so on. Like, it's the trend of the week. Anyway, I'm not a socialist. I was really bugged by that. And it was just so annoying. Like, people who have conversations with me in person, I can be passionate about things. I can be knowledgeable about things, but I'm not typically unreasonable about understanding or explaining myself. Especially if like we're having a conversation and listening and not being ridiculous, I can have all sorts of conversations. It's not a big deal. It's snowing. But anyway, yeah. Look, not a socialist. And I called it was an arbitrage opportunity, is what I called it. So like, even the way I was framing it was from this very like economic, like capitalist understanding. And that's why I think it bothered me so much. It was like, you're not looking at how the idea is being framed. You're not looking at the what I'm saying or what the solution addresses. You're just labeling me and shunting me off someplace without actually engaging. And I guess that plays to a lot of my personal issues that bother me a lot, of not being listened to, or I'm always useful, I'm never necessary. And then so that plays into that, and that really kind of like grinds my gears. Because that's been a huge portion of my life. Useful, never necessary. Helpful, never critical. Right? Always replaceable. Wow, snowplows are running. April 27th. Hey, remember when it snowed like this during finals week when I was on snowy, slushy roads. Oh, that makes me so upset. Couldn't stay behind the bus. No. You had to be in this lane. So you make a dangerous move like that, cut me off, and then you're gonna like break too close to the car in front of you. This is where I want to wave with one finger. Also, I've been sticking to my thought process on the housing market. I'm like, look, if gas gets to 4.50 a gallon, we're in trouble. And from what the news that I watch and the different shows, what they cite, and like my own understanding of it, uh, the futures market is very disconnected. This is like a moment of like massive problem. The futures market is very disconnected from the actual trade at the dock of crude coming in or going out. Oh, yeah. And so like I guess they're saying like gas at the like at the ports is typically trading at $150 a barrel, even though there's a wreck. This used to be like, I mean, it still is like a wildly dangerous canyon to drive. When I was a student here, oh, I mean, holy cow! Before they put in this center barrier, I don't know why it took them so long to do it. It actually really bothers me that it took them so many years to put this center barrier in. Because I swear, during the wintertime, it was like, oh man, like one a week died like every week coming through this canyon, like a week, one a week. Like every time weekend hit or long break, like a student or somebody died coming through this canyon. I think since the center barrier has happened, like that has slowed down a lot. Like there's accidents, but it's not because basically there people are going head on with each other at like 60, 65 miles an hour. Oh, the heck. Oh, I thought I saw an accident up here. I mean, there was an ambulance, emergency management vehicle that came through. Not vehicle. Oh, this guy's trying to get over. Let him get over. Try to give you some space. Lots of space. Anyway, sorry, I got wildly sidetracked from whatever I was saying. I don't know why. God, people just learn how to drive. Just kidding. Oh, maybe what the? I guess typically the accidents usually happen down here as you come around the bend right into Cache Valley. So I wonder if that's where we're at. So the vehicles I was watching turning around were because it's down here further. Yeah. Got a police car. Got two police cars, three police cars. Okay, let's do this. Do. Oh, maybe they just slid off. Oh, no. They slid. They went, oh, holy crap. They are on their side. Is a truck? Goodness gracious. They were going too fast. That is like the worst place. That is the worst place. Another fire truck coming up. They were on their side facing up towards the road. You could see it looked like they slid and went spun down. I mean, it came to rest on its side, so I don't know. Hopefully they didn't roll it. And these jackwagon, I don't know. It's slushy. I mean, I'm all for going fast in here, but like, that was like the one spot in this canyon that is like, I mean, you can fall off here and that would be pretty bad, but this probably isn't the time to get over here because the road bends back this way. So if you're going to slide, you're going to slide. That's why I like this canyon. I like don't pass on the right. One of my pet peeves. and like just know your road conditions, right? Like I guess maybe because I drive it all the time and I have been for a while now. Just be smart, right? Like it's not. It's 65. You just got to know your conditions. There's too much. All these smart cruise control systems. My radar doesn't work anymore. Anyway, I'm intrigued to see what happens this week. I know they keep saying that crime is way down. Oh, after Mr. Patel's performance from the White House Correspondents' Center, like you're the FBI director. You may not be a tactical genius, but you should have like a response. Like you should at least know how to look like a leader and be like spring into action and like you don't like extricate yourself. You should be like, where's your security detail? Why are they not ushering you out? Why are you not taking command of the situation? Like that feels like an FBI director type thing. You're just sitting there like a jackass. Like, well, I don't know what to do. Like, you're the FBI director. Make a decision, right? Like, set up a command post and start getting information from your guys. Like, make it look like you're competent. But he's not. So he does not appear. Sorry, allegedly, he's not competent. But I think this would be the nail in the coffin because it was a bad look. I think he's on his way. I wouldn't be surprised if he's fired today or tomorrow. Or sorry, Trump doesn't fire them. He'll become the director of the global Terramar delegation. That's because this guy's blocking the. Any hoodlums. Well, now I'm just sitting in silence. Some thoughts this morning. Hope you have a great day.